Okay, so the app we're going to look at now is another free app. This is a free app for, again, programming, but this is a bit more advanced for students. This is more looking at upper kind of key stage 2. So we take a look at Hopscotch. Now, Hopscotch is completely free, and what it allows you to do is to create a series of projects, as you can see in here. But also at the bottom here I have the menu for me, which is my own projects, but I also have a community menu where I can actually see other projects created by other people who use Hopscotch. For the purpose of today, let's just take a look at an example of a program that's been created. So let's look at this Sydney Opera House. So if I press start, you'll be able to see an example of what these could actually look like. So as you can see that is a program that's been carried out and executed by multiple, let's call them characters in this instance, to create a drawing of the Sydney Opera House. Now, if we go back to the main screen and we start a new project, we'll have a look at kind of how these things are built. Now, Hopscotch really lends itself more in Key Stage 2, where actually they're expected to be able to design and create their own programs with their own desired kind of outcomes. Apps that we've looked at in the past, like Kodable, for example, and Bebot, they have a very specific outcome. You have to get the character from one end to another along a specific route, and you have to give them the instructions to achieve that. In this case, you get pretty much a free canvas to do what you want with. So we're going to have a look at kind of the basic aspects of this. So let's just start by choosing a simple character. Now, when you're presented with the character, you're asked to give them a rule. Now, these rules give you different inputs, and again, these are really useful at Key Stage 2, where they have to start to explore different inputs for programming. So you can actually dictate how the program will run. So, for example, this program will not start until the iPad is shaken. Then you can start to look at, a specific program. So my program will begin when the iPad is shaken, and there are some ones, again, that are kind of pre-created. So let's say, for example, I want my character to breakdance. What I can do is I can choose that. If I now press start, when I shake my iPad, my character performs that program. He performs that breakdance. Now, if I go back to the edit menu, we select the breakdance option, but I press the little pencil tool next to it. You can actually see the really simple commands in a similar way to Scratch. These are drag and drop command lines that create that outcome. So if I decide now, right, let's go back, and I'm going to delete that rule, and this time my monkey is going to perform a project when the iPad is tapped, and this time I'm going to create a new ability. Now what you can start to do again with students is they can make their own individual ones. So this ability is just going to be really simply to draw a blue line. Now obviously you can be a lot more creative with this in terms of their own name or various other things they can do. But if we take a look on the left hand side, because I'm going to do some drawing, I need the drawing specific commands, and I'm going to choose to set my line color first of all to blue. Just hit the tick. I'm going to set the width, let's just go to 50 this time, and he's going to move with the trail for 500 steps. Now when I'm happy with that, if I simply press play, you can see a preview of how that program will look, and this then lets you think, right, he's gone too far, so let's just change that. I only want him to move this time 200. Now what they can start to do is actually start to use logical reasoning to predict the behavior of the program they've created before they actually execute it. So let's just choose the tick and press start. So now when I tap my iPad, my monkey draws the blue line. I can go back to my edit menu, and I can go back again into the same one, or I could give him new rules. I could have multiple things happening at the same time. Again, as you can see, there's lots of different things you can do in here. It will save your abilities within there as well. So you can actually start to combine different abilities in one just by dragging them in. I can also set things around appearance if I want them to grow, if I want them to change their pose. And like I say, you can start to build this up. So if the students have time to explore these features and actually start to understand, what the language of Hopscotch does and what it's capable of, they're more likely to use logical reasoning to create an outcome that's realistic. Now, again, the other thing I like about this is you can add in multiple characters. So you can actually start by moving these characters to different places on the grid and get them to do different things and interact with each other, and start to almost make games out of this app. It's just a fantastic way of starting to give a bit more free rein at Key Stage 2 to programming. They're designing their own outcomes. They're creating the algorithm and the program to get the outcome they want, and then they can debug it and they can review it. And they can start to have a look at those kind of aspects. So that's a very quick overview of Hopscotch, a great free app for programming at Key Stage 2.